The Praetorian stood motionless in the center of the diplomatic hall, a 12-foot monolith of scarred chitin and polished biometal. Station security maintained a 30-foot perimeter around him, standard protocol for handling a Thracian warcast veteran. The ambassadors and dignitaries whispered nervously, keeping their distance, despite this being a peace summit. No one approached a Thracian Praetorian. Not if they wanted to live. Dr. Elena Reyes watched from across the room, sipping synthesized champagne. The Galactic Concord had spent years negotiating this meeting, bringing together 17 species to discuss the ongoing border conflicts with the Thracian Imperium. This warrior was their representative, a living weapon, engineered for conquest, responsible for decimating 3 planetary defense forces during the Century War. They sent their most infamous killer as an ambassador, muttered Ambassador Chen beside her. It's an insult. Elena studied the Praetorian more carefully. Thracians had compound eyes with no discernible pupils, making their gaze unsettlingly unreadable. This one's carapace bore the green-black marks of radiation scarring battle honors from the assault on Proxima Colony. Hundreds of thousands had died there. Human colonists. His name is Vex Actar, Elena said quietly. And I don't think it's an insult. What? They sent their most respected warrior. In their culture, that's the highest honor. Chen scoffed. That thing is a bioweapon with legs. His kind don't negotiate, they conquer. Elena set down her glass. I'm going to talk to him. Are you insane? Security protocol forbids. I've studied Thracian culture for 15 years, she interrupted. They respect directness and courage above all else. Everyone here is showing fear. That's why this summit will fail. Before Chen could protest further, Elena was walking across the floor. Conversations hushed as the gathered diplomats noticed her trajectory. A security officer moved to intercept her, but she flashed her diplomatic credentials. Dr. Reyes, this isn't advised, the officer warned. Note your objection and step aside, Elena replied, without breaking stride. As she crossed the invisible boundary around the Praetorian, the massive alien's head swiveled toward her with mechanical precision. Up close, the being was even more intimidating, armor-like exoskeleton reflecting the overhead lights, clawed upper limbs capable of rending metal. The air around him smelled faintly of ozone and something alien, a pheromone meant to trigger fear responses. Elena stopped 6 feet away, close enough to converse, far enough to show respect for personal space. Vex Actar of the Third Birthclade, she said in carefully practiced Thracian clicks and whistles. I am Elena Reyes of Earth. I acknowledge your battle honors and offer respect to your lineage. The room had fallen completely silent. The Praetorian's compound eyes shifted, the facets catching light in rippling patterns. His mandibles clicked twice. Surprise, Elena recognized. Human, the translator at his thorax, vocalized in stilted standard. You speak war tongue with strange accent. How know you my birthclade? I study your people, Elena responded, switching back to standard. The massacre at Proxima was required teaching at our war college. The security team tensed at her directness, but Elena continued. You were honored for efficiency and minimal collateral damage, despite operating under nuclear strike conditions. The massive alien shifted his weight, the first movement he'd made in over an hour. Not massacre. Battle. Your kind fought well. The translator conveyed the words without emotion, but Elena detected a subtle shift in his pheromone output. We lost that battle. 3,000 defenders against your legion. 3,000 held 7 days against superior force. Honorable. His mandibles clicked again. You approach me without fear sent. Why? Elena's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. Fear doesn't solve conflicts. Understanding does. I want to understand why the most decorated Thracian war leader agreed to attend a peace summit. The Praetorian straightened to his full height, towering over her. The security team raised weapons, but Elena raised a hand, stopping them. Imperium has fought for 9 centuries, Vex Actar said. I have fought for 2. Too much death. Too much glory. His clawed appendage tapped the radiation scars on his carapace. These are not honor. These are regret. Murmurs swept through the hall as the translator conveyed his words. Elena stepped closer now, just 4 feet from the alien warrior. Then help us find a different path, she said softly. One warrior to another. You are not warrior, Vex Actar observed. I fight with different weapons, Elena replied. But for the same reason, to protect my people. The Praetorian's compound eyes studied her for a long moment. Then, to the astonishment of everyone present, he lowered himself to one knee, bringing his head level with hers, in the Thracian gesture of equal standing. Perhaps, the giant alien said, humans understand Thracians better than others. We speak of peace then, not surrender. Peace between equals. As diplomats watched in stunned silence, Elena extended her hand, palm up, the universal gesture, peaceful intention. After a moment's hesitation, the massive alien warrior placed one razor-tipped claw gently in her palm. The Century War ended 3 months later.